Throughout this PowerPoint, I'm going to be comparing my experiences with learning, cognition, social development, and family dynamics with those of specific deaf people, as well as the general deaf population. How I learned language. I was born hearing, so I had immediate access to language. This allowed me to develop vocabulary and language at a typical pace. On the other hand, the majority of deaf children are born to hearing parents, so they do not have the same immediate access to language. This leads to language delays in deaf children and slower vocabulary development. My mom was always very involved in my education. When I was 3, I was diagnosed with a speech impediment. The school system and insurance companies did not think it was important for me to receive speech therapy until I started kindergarten. My mom constantly fought them until I was eventually placed in speech therapy. Similarly, parents of deaf children emphasize the importance of being involved in their child's education, knowing the rights of their child, and being an advocate for their child. Developing cognition. Since I was born hearing, I was able to learn many things incidentally, simply by hearing my parents or siblings talk about those things. Since deaf children do not have access to auditory information, they do not experience this incidental learning. They have to rely on learning things visually and through direct instruction. Most of my social development was influenced by my after-school activities. I was on a variety of sports teams growing up, and although I was very shy, being on a team allowed me to develop close friendships and bonds. This is very similar to Mark's experiences with baseball. He said how he's always felt accepted when playing baseball since he was a part of a team. This is how he developed his first close friendship as a child with his friend Siku. I also developed socially at school. I attended 5 different schools growing up because my family moved a lot, but I was always quickly accepted and able to develop friendships. The majority of deaf students who are mainstreamed face many obstacles that often prevent them from forming relationships with their hearing peers. These obstacles may include physical factors, such as being placed in a separate classroom throughout the day, or emotional factors, such as prejudice and stereotyping due to their deafness. I come from a very close-knit family. We ate dinner together every night as a family and then would watch either a TV show or movie together. Candace Jones and Mark both discussed dinner table syndrome, the experience of eating dinner with the family but having no idea what is being discussed due to lack of access to communication. Mark especially highlighted this when talking about the Passover meal and how his grandparents were unwilling to have an interpreter present or make any accommodations to allow him and his mother to understand what's happening throughout the meal. Candace also talked about the one time she was watching a movie with her family and her sister refused to have captions on the screen since it blocked part of the screen. These are the references I used throughout my PowerPoint. Thank you for listening.